Phuong Thi Le Lee is a young woman trying to survive in the battle zones of Vietnam. Stephen Butler is the Marine with a dark past who wants to save her. Their stories are told in Oliver Stone's Heaven and Earth, an epic motion picture that breaks new ground for one of cinema's leading directors. In this film, Stone completes a remarkable cinematic trilogy about Vietnam by showing the other side of the war for the first time. There were other sides to the Vietnam War. Until now, the Vietnamese were faces in the background of the war, passing before our eyes on TV, their fate secondary to those of our soldiers. This unexplored perspective brought Stone back to Vietnam. For this movie, he chose the actual story of a young Vietnamese peasant girl. Her name was Phuong Thi Le Lee, and her life was changed forever by war and fate. She grew up in the timeless cycle of Vietnamese country life.
The fragile rice had to be planted and transplanted several times. Our rice paddies were always near the cemeteries because we believed the spirits passed through the soil into the rice. So the new generation in eating the rice was sharing in the spirit of their ancestors.
Her parents were secure in their place between Father Heaven and Mother Earth. Then the Viet Cong arrived, and life in the village was never to be the same. Her brothers were recruited to fight the Americans, and she began a journey through the hell that man can create on Earth.
Yes? You want something else?
That journey seemed to end with the appearance of a savior, a soldier who takes her to his home in America, taking in her Vietnamese son and fathering 2 more of his own.
I got 3 more years when to get out with a good pension. After that, I got a civilian job waiting for me. Big bucks, just you and me. We're gonna be back in the Far East.
But war does not always end with peace. And a man is not always what he seems.
You don't know the half of it, darling. You don't know the half.
And yet this woman found an enduring message about life despite her sufferings and the torment of her nation. That honesty is what drew Stone to the story of Phuong Thi Le Lee. Her name is now Le Lee Haislip, and fate has taken one more strange but happier turn in her life. Against all odds, the journals this self-educated woman wrote about her experiences as a Viet Cong scout, street hustler, refugee, and American wife became critically acclaimed books, When Heaven and Earth Changed Places and Child of War, Woman of Peace. And now those books are the basis for this motion picture, written and directed by Stone.
I read the book, and the book was a great read from beginning to end. Epic journey. Roulette wheel of life.
Those who worked on Heaven and Earth were touched by the powerful message of Le Lee's books and Oliver Stone's screenplay. With its stunning photography, its unique perspective on peasant life, and its spiritual core, this is a film deserving of the label epic and a fitting contribution to the Stone trilogy on the war.
But if it's a good film, it will reach out to the universal heart that we all have and reach into that heart, and I think it should move anybody, old or young or whatever nationality. That's always what good films do. And I think in my heart that you could make a film about anybody. If you do it well, you can reach the heart. So hopefully a Vietnamese woman will matter to an African in Sudan or an Indian in Bombay or an American in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I would always be in between. South, north, east, west, peace, war, Vietnam, America. It is my fate to be in between heaven and earth.